Go.
Hello, third grade. We are on episode number 4 of our social studies videos for TCI lesson 7. So we have met total so far 4 of the 6 kids from around the world. So today we are finishing off with our last 2 friends that we are going to meet. So we are going to start off with Paul, and Paul lives in Australia. So I have my big map again, and Paul lives in Australia. Okay, he lives on a cattle ranch. Okay, in the outback. The climate is hot. It is hot there. Says he likes to wear a hat when he's helping with the cattle to keep the sun off of his face because it gets very hot and it's too sunny for him. In the morning, he eats breakfast just like you guys do. He likes to eat eggs, so maybe some of you had eggs today, I don't know. And he has snags for breakfast. Does anybody out there know what a snag is? Give you a second. A snag is similar to a sausage. So if you have like little sausage links for breakfast, you have to, he eats eggs and sausage. So the next time when we're allowed to go to a restaurant, maybe you can order eggs with a side of snags and see what the waiter or the waitress has to say about that. You can kind of trick them and maybe teach them something that day. So you may eat similar things for breakfast. So once again, I'm going to pull out my handy dandy Venn diagram. Be taking some notes about what you have similar and what you have different from all of these friends, because it's going to help you with our last activity, which we'll have to do with a Venn diagram. Okay. Now, he goes to school a little different than what we do typically. So he only goes to school for an hour and a half a day. And his school comes to him. He kind of is doing online learning like we are doing right now, but he only does it for an hour and a half. He does that because where he lives in the outback is very remote. That means it's very far away from stores, other schools, other neighbors. So he does all of his schooling online all the time. So we're doing it like this temporarily, and he has to do it all of the time. One thing I think that you will find that you have in common, a lot of you, is when you read this, it says that he really likes to play video games. And I know a lot of you out there enjoy playing video games as well. So that's something that you have similar to our friend Paul from Australia. Our last friend that we are going to meet in lesson 7 is coming all the way from Nigeria, and her name is Miriam. So let me show you on my map where Nigeria is. So we are going to the continent of Africa, and Nigeria is right here. Okay, so remember, when we learn those continents at the beginning of social studies, it comes in handy to know where these places are. So we can see, are they close to the equator, where it gets hot? Is it far from the equator, where it is cold? These are all things that we can use our prior knowledge on as we are learning about these friends from around the world. So some of you may be at home right now thinking, oh my goodness, I'm so bored, I'm an only child, or oh, I wish there were more kids here to play with. Well, Miriam, I don't think would have that trouble because she has 11 brothers and sisters. So I am sure there's always somebody to be playing with or getting into mischief with all of those brothers and sisters. She goes to school just like we go to school. She has math class, she has geography, it's kind of like studying maps, learning where things are, history and health, and she learns to speak English at school. She enjoys some of her activities. It says in lesson 7, she enjoys watching TV, and she has homework that she has to do, just like we all do. Now, you might be thinking, I've never had Nigerian food before. So for us around here, we can get Mexican food, we can get Chinese food, we can get Italian food, but there's not very many places to get something Nigerian. So you might be curious as to what does their food taste like. And when you read in lesson 7 about Miriam, it talks about how their food can be very spicy, very hot. So if you like spicy food, you may enjoy food from Nigeria. She also likes a certain drink that they have in Nigeria that's made with ginger. So we do have a pop here in the United States, in America, that I know I like to drink if I have like an upset stomach or if I'm on an airplane and I feel a little bit off, called ginger ale, and it has a gingery taste. So my guess would be that it probably tastes similar to the ginger ale that we have here in America. And she does like music as well. She's actually learning to play the drums. So, boys and girls, that was just a quick overview of the 6 friends that we have met over lesson 7 in TCI. Please go and read all about them in TCI. I just kind of gave you some highlights. I hope you've been taking notes on each one, because that's going to come in handy when I explain in our last video what I'd like you to do for this week after your reading. Stay safe, wash your hands, and we'll see you soon. Bye, 3rd grade.